Hi everybody, Jody Ann Johnson here from ActionCOACH Team Sage in Miami. Yesterday the House passed 417 to 1 a bill to expand the guidelines around the PPP Forgiveness Program. That means that it will now go to the Senate and then eventually to the President to be signed off on. You know, the true scope and impact of this economic aspect of our pandemic hasn't really been revealed until now. How devastating it has been to a number of different businesses, such as restaurants, that could not open when the PPP money became available. Like, they actually couldn't hire because they couldn't open. And so we're seeing that for some companies, that 8-week time frame actually just wasn't enough. For others, that the 75% that had to go to payroll wasn't enough to keep the doors open to pay rent. So what they've done is they've gone in and begun to modify what the forgiveness aspects will look like. The proposal now is that instead of 8 weeks, we would be able to go to 24 weeks or to the end of the year. The 75% being decreased to about 60% for the payroll itself, and that the balance could be used on things like rent and electricity and those sorts of things. They also propose that we go from the 2-year time frame for paying back loans that were not aspects of the loans that were not forgivable to 5 years. So they've been making a number of modifications that should make it much, much better for the small business owners who have gotten the PPP and those who've been afraid to get the PPP because they didn't really fully understand how the loans were going to be forgiven and turned into grants. Right, so there's urgency around this now, because today was the 8th week from April 3rd, which was when the PPP started. So we know that people who were early on getting their PPP loans are now going to be coming at the 8-week period. So the Senate is expected to vote on this next week. They are fairly certain that there won't be too much back and forth because they understand the urgency of this being resolved quickly for small business owners. And the sooner the better. We've last week already had 100,000 businesses that have permanently closed. We're seeing bankruptcies and closures happening, unfortunately, for both large and small. And I see that, you know, as we try to interact with small businesses and get gift certificates or buy online or any of the number of ways that we're trying to help small businesses here locally in Miami, that they really were not set up for this at all. So know that something is coming out next week for modifications for your PPP loans if you got them, and clarity around PPP if you haven't applied yet. There's still $100 billion available in the PPP. So as these guidelines come out, that may be something that you want to participate in if you haven't yet. Let us know if we can help you calculating or recalculating how the PPP can be best used and loan forgiveness, and know that we're here to make sure that you not only survive but thrive on the other side.